Good morning. Today is September the 16th, and this is Taitz Report. First, of course, today there was a shooting in the Navy Yard in Washington, D.C., very close to the U.S. Capitol, which is really unbelievable. And during this shooting, 6 people were murdered and another 6 or 7 are wounded. And of course, Barack Obama gave a speech about bravery of the members of the military and stated that people who are responsible will be punished. However, one thing was not stated. And this thing is that U.S. government has made members of the U.S. military who are serving in the United States of America, who are on bases, made them sitting ducks because there were executive orders whereby weapons were taken away from the members of the military. So how can this problem be solved? Not by making bases demilitarized zone and taking weapons away from members of the military, but the opposite, giving them weapons so they can defend themselves. If members of the military in Fort Hood, Texas, were to have weapons, they could have defended themselves, and maybe there would have been one person wounded or killed by Abdul Hassan in Texas. Same thing in Washington, D.C. And it is time for members of the military to rise and demand to revoke those insane orders. Not only they have the Second Amendment right to defend themselves, but they have a heightened right to defend themselves because they are a target for terrorists. And therefore, the best way to solve this problem is for members of the military to go to Congress. Keep in mind, members of the military did not lose their right for petition of grievances. And if each and every member of the military who serves at this Navy shipyard gathers and goes to the U.S. Congress, to U.S. Senate, to the White House, and demands revoking those orders that disarm them, there will be a difference. And maybe members of the military who serve on other bases can do the same. That will make a difference. Well, next thing on the agenda, what is happening today. Today we're waiting for an answer from the Department of Justice in regards to my case that was brought in the state of Maryland against the Commissioner of Social Security, Carolyn Colvin. In this case, I'm seeking the original application for Harry Bounel. He is a gentleman who was born in 1890, who used Social Security number 042684425, and this number was stolen, simply assumed stolen sometime in 1980s, possibly around 1986. I don't know for sure, but in 1980s it was taken, assumed illegally by Barack Obama. And in order to expose Barack Obama, what I needed to do is get this application for Harry Bounel. Originally, I was told that I cannot get it because of the matters of privacy. However, I have argued with the Social Security Administration that privacy does not apply because this person was born over 120 years ago, and under a 120-year rule of the Social Security Administration, the government or any agency of the government has to provide Social Security application, which is called SS5, for individuals who were born 120 years ago or earlier. Further, they tried to claim that they do not have such records, that they do not exist. This is, of course, not true because they've already admitted that they have the records with this name, with this Social Security number, and they originally didn't provide those for reasons of privacy. Department of Justice asked for additional time to respond to my motion for summary judgment. The presiding judge gave Department of Justice additional time until today, September the 16th, and we are waiting for an answer today. Next, what else is happening today? Well, Barack Obama appeared on the news over the weekend attacking Republicans, and it was laughable. He was claiming that the actions of Republicans are unconstitutional, that Republicans are not serious about solving the debt problems because Republicans were saying that they cannot, in good conscience, allow Obama to spend the way he is spending and increase the debt ceiling. We already have $17 trillion worth of debt and $125 trillion of unfunded obligations of federal social programs. So Republicans have stated that we basically have no money. We cannot afford any more programs. Obamacare is an extremely expensive program. If we were to start it today, we would have had $9 trillion of unfunded obligations from day one. We just don't have this money. And Obama has already given exemptions to all of his friends and cronies and donors. Congress got an exemption for themselves. And Obama gave an extension of a year extension to the companies. So if extensions and exemptions were given to others, such extensions and exemptions should be given to the rest of Americans. After all, we have equal protection under the law. And therefore, Republicans are demanding an extension for at least a year in funding of Obamacare. It has to be codified. Obama's executive order to give an extension to the companies should be codified. It should be in the law, and the same should be applied to everybody, including the citizens. Well, Barack Obama is stating that Republicans are not serious. In my opinion, the one who is not serious is Barack Obama. Republicans simply do not want this country to end up in debt, just as the city of Detroit ended up in debt and city employees lost 80 cents of every dollar in their pension funds. Same thing happened in Flint, Michigan, in Oakland, and San Bernardino, California. Republicans are the ones who are being serious and responsible adults. Barack Obama is basically acting like a child, like a kid who got hold of his mom's credit card and went with his buddies partying in Vegas and maxed the credit card. And now he's asking his mom to give him yet another credit card. Sorry, sweetie, no more credit cards. And that's what we should do. Let's look at our debt. During Barack Obama's administration, the deficit, the amount of debt that he incurred every year was about 1.2, 1.3 trillion. In comparison, the deficit that was incurred by George Bush was only 1/3 of it, about 450 billion, less than half a trillion. So the debt is enormous. And of course, obedient lapdog liberal Democrat media is not telling people the truth, or they simply change the facts in a way to put Obama in positive light. For example, they're not saying that Barack Obama is spending 3 times more than George Bush did, that he's incurring debt, which is 3 times larger than the debt ever incurred by George Bush. No, they're not saying this. What they are saying that this year, for the first time, Barack Obama will have a deficit less than $1 trillion, and this is a great achievement. No, this is not a great achievement. This is still unconscionable, psychotic spending. So Republicans have only 2 weeks to address this problem before October 1st, and they need to concentrate on this. There are some very bright, young, outspoken Republican leaders in the U.S. Senate and House. For example, Senator Mike Lee and Senator Ted Cruz. They're the ones who should do what Barack Obama is doing. They should go to each and every TV program. They should go to each and every station, and radio station, every newspaper, and they should demand equal time. Obama got enough time to promote his ideas, and they need to present to American people the enormity of the debt that is being incurred. Today, it's estimated that we will have 440 billion of interest only on the debt, meaning this year we will spend nearly the same amount of money on debt as we do on our national defense. US is spending about $500 billion a year on defense. The interest on the debt will be about $440 billion. If interest rates will go up to about 6%, which is not uncommon, the debt is going to be $1 trillion in interest. This is unconscionable. Please go to your congressman and demand that they address this issue. Thank you.